Around the world, the word bourbon is often preceded by Kentucky, a marriage that's centuries long.
Lawrenceburg is home to two of the most famous labels, Wild Turkey and Four Roses. And this weekend, the city will host the resurrection of an old name in the bourbon industry. LEX 18's Conroy DeLuche has more.
Hidden behind branches along Main Street, the Rippey House in Lawrenceburg is an old home that was almost lost to history until descendants stepped in.
There was leopard skin wallpaper all over the floors, walls, and ceilings. It was a total disaster.
The house was literally built by bourbon.
T.B. Rippey was the largest independent sour mash distiller in the world at one time.
That time was more than a century ago. One of his partners was William Harrison McBrayer, known simply as the Judge, and he was also a longtime distiller.
And they said his whiskey turned the heads of the aristocrats in Europe from Scotch to Kentucky bourbon.
Judge McBrayer's name remained on bottles deep into the 20th century.
This bottle was actually a 16-year-old product that was bottled around the late 1920s.
Like the Rippey House, McBrayer's legacy was almost lost to history. But in the past decade, Bill McBrayer and his father, also named Bill, uncovered the old mash bill, and in 2016, they restored the family name in the bourbon industry.
His mash bill that we found in the letter was an 88% corn bourbon. It is a very distinct bourbon.
The bottle will be released to the market this weekend, and Bill McBrayer is holding the relaunch of the label at none other than the Rippey House.
He and T.B. Rippey, whose house we're in, were partners in T.B. Rippey's first distillery. And then T.B. Rippey bought him out a year later. And it was just fitting that we would do our first release here.
A house built on bourbon, now hosting the resurrection of an old friend's legacy. In Anderson County, Conroy DeLuche, LEX 18.